Dallas home for podcasts, live streams, and unfiltered conversations. This is Dallas On Air.
Some stories are told with words, others with a different language. The groove. Feel the rhythm, embrace the moment. On Dallas On Air.
The Groove, a podcast that's a transformational show about dance and the people's journey to success. That's just a vibe. Welcome to the couch.
The Groove, sponsored by the flyest station in the nation, flyradio.com. Your station for music lovers. Listen live 24 hours on flyradio.com. Download our app from the Google Play Store for talent or advertising opportunities. Please call 773-FLY-DIVA, otherwise known as 773-359-3482. Welcome to The Groove. I'm your host, Adrian Carson, and I have one of the best photographers in Dallas with me, Mr. Lawrence Butler. Welcome to the couch. How are you doing, sir?
Doing great. Thank you, Adrian. You flatter me, man. One of the best. I think I'm pretty good, but I appreciate it.
Well, you're the only one. You're one of the best. If so, Lawrence and I've been looking for another photographer since my in-house photographer stepped aside for a little bit for personal reasons, and I've been looking for another photographer. So I've been looking for Lawrence for a while, but I didn't have his contact number. I didn't know how to find him, so I reached out to a good friend, Brigida, and Brigida said, "Oh, yeah, I have Lawrence's information, so let me give you Lawrence's information." So she gave me Lawrence's information, and I called him, and we connected, and now he is the house photographer for Groove Theory Dallas's Second Friday. So I have been looking for you for a while.
That's great. That's great. You know, I'm glad you reached out to me because, man, I'm telling you, the opportunity to do photography for something I enjoy, dance, and that's something that I was really fortunate to be a part of early on, and then you calling me, and now just returning to that is just wonderful. It really is.
So how old were you when you started dancing?
Oh, my God, dancing. Actually, my family always danced, believe it or not. Early on, I would see my mom dance and my dad dance, and I'm not going to mention some of those old dances back in the day. So we've always enjoyed dance. My mother made sure that we also learned some of the formal dance, the waltz, foxtrot, and some of those.
Okay.
That
so
we
you
did.
know how to ballroom
So
as well.
a little bit. So we did that. As far as swing out, which is pretty new to me, I got a friend, a lot of you guys that know him, Henry Hardy.
Well,
Was working with Henry Hardy on a project, and he told me he had to shut down early because he's going to dance class. And I'm like, dance class? You know, I wasn't interested in dance at that time in my life. But I followed him out, and we went out to Steppers out there with Brad, the extra Tommy. And, and man, I saw the dance. It was so wonderful just watching people actually swing out and working it out together. So I jumped in that class, and I started going there just as much as I was able to, and I've been dancing ever since.
well, we know some of the same people, and I met you a long, long time ago casually. I learned to dance at Stratus from Jason and Lasanda, which is a Greek restaurant on Northwest Highway where you would come visit at times.
Yes.
That was kind of, after class, we had a open floor where other people would come and they would dance and eat the food and just hang out. So I didn't know you that well then, but I do recall you. And then fast forward, you've been dancing for a very long. You were swinging out well before I was.
Well, you know, enjoy swinging out. And what we would do back then, you began, and swing out is a community, as you know now.
Absolutely.
We have a huge community. So the different places, whether it's Stratus, whether it's Diamonds, Gold Rush, or Fat Cats, or, you know, just whatever, we would visit the different places. And largely when it's the event, we will all come out to support those. Gigi's Jazz, just we would come out and we would swing out. And so it was great. You got to meet a lot of people, and learning to dance and enjoying it was just incredible.
So who were your first instructors? Was it Bad Brad or?
I'm going to say my first was actually because I started practicing with Bad Brad them over at Steppers.
Okay.
That's where I began to learn to dance. I was one of those who hard-headed, and I didn't jump into a class later. And so later, just inspired to, I jumped into a class with AP, Angie Jones.
Angie Jones.
And she was teaching over at Coach's Corner then, and just really enjoyed the dance and the class members. So we, very nice. I want to say 2003, 2004 is when I jumped in her class. But mind you, I've been dancing a while before getting in her class.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So how was the experience dancing with AP? Because I think at that time, AP was starting to transition and start competing.
A little bit. I think she did more so a little later, and I'll let her speak to that.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I knew AP actually before I knew she taught dance. AP also did so. She was my barber, believe it or not.
Really?
So AP is very talented.
Small
and,
world.
so she was sweet. So when she told me she was starting a class, and the first thing I did is I brought my photography over to her class. But seeing her class, I decided to join that class. She's always enjoyable, fun to dance with, easy follow, and she's going to add a little flair to your dance. So
A lot of flair.
as a guy, we were always taught, and it's true, if you want to look good dancing, make the lady look good.
Absolutely.
AP is already there.
Absolutely.
So she comes with the dance. So it's always fun to dance with AP.
And you're not from Dallas, are you?
Not originally. I'm from Arkansas, a small town called Pine Bluff, Arkansas. And I've moved here. I guess I've been here about 37 years. I guess that's about right. Moved here in 1999.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I take that back. 1989.
Okay.
That's when I
Yeah.
actually moved here. Yes.
Because I didn't move to Dallas until 96-ish. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's when I moved to Dallas. Cool. All right. All right.
Good deal.
So, how did you get into photography?
Photography was one of those things that I picked up when I was in college. And, a lot of us understand the work-study jobs.
Uh-huh.
So I was looking for a job to do to help compensate for extra funds. And I got on the yearbook staff.
Oh.
And we were very fortunate in the photographer we had. There was also a professional photographer, a renowned photographer, who I was photographer and editor. So he taught us a lot about the cameras and about photography. I was excited. We were shooting film then.
Okay.
So I was so excited to learn. I remember the first shoot I went out and did. I came back and none of the pictures were developed. So I had to learn a lot about the camera. I struggled. And my second shoot, I remember, came out. We made the front page not only of the yearbook, but also of the current paper. That was in Fayetteville, Arkansas. And I've been learning and enjoying photography ever since, just constantly upping my skill level and doing different type of photography.
So how does someone level up their photography? Is it classes, seminars? How do you do that? Or is it just being around people and picking up stuff and learning, or just seeking information?
All the above. If you're going to do photography, you want to, first of all, you want to learn your equipment. You want to learn how to use your equipment because your settings and things are going to be different. The second thing is, if you have a love for it, just like you have a love for dance or singing, you're going to begin to experiment.
Okay.
And so I've done that over the years. I've shot for years for the hair industry. A lot of people in the hair industry here know me there. I've shot models. I've actually shot celebrities. I mean, my favorite, I had the occasion to, wasn't a head photographer, but had a chance to shoot Megan Good, who's my favorite to do photography for. But what you do is you continue to up your game. You up your equipment. You get out and you learn about different lighting aspects. And as far as courses, you're going to take online courses, and you want to learn as much as possible. I just got through taking another photography course. It was nothing new to me, but it was a repeat. So now I just have to continue to make sure that I improve my skill level.
So tell us about your business, your photography business. What's the name of your photography business?
Butler's Photography. Butler's Photography. I have a website, butlersphoto.com. I'm a full-service photographer. Full service means that there's not any type of photography I don't do. I do portfolios. I do weddings. I do product photography. I do events. We've done. I shot along with a couple people that I've done with Mike Duran. I've actually shot the City of Singer event. I've done the DFW, the different terminals, and we covered the DFW. And actually, when the Cowboy Stadium, David Starr and I went out, and we covered that. So I enjoy it, and just been blessed to have occasion to use my photography in a lot of different areas.
So in your photography, does that also entail filming?
No.
Because I know a lot of photographers, some that you and I know, they'll take pictures and then they'll go to a different mode on their camera and start filming.
Well,
do you recommend that, or is that you want to keep those two things separate?
For me, and I
For
think
you,
it depends upon the
absolutely.
skill level. For me, I prefer just doing the still pictures.
Okay.
I can do video. I have cameras that does excellent video, even 8K video, and I've captured video for different events.
Mm-hmm.
But I always refer a videographer. That's someone who has spent the time, as much time in doing video as I have in photography.
Right.
So I know what my settings are, I know what I'm shooting for, and I know how to do that. So now you have a videographer who knows all of that. I mean, I can turn on the camera and point it and frame something because I'm a photographer, so I can frame it and video something and say, hey, I got a video and present it to someone. But let's get a videographer, who's really good. It's about to throw someone out there who's really good, but I don't know if I should advertise for him on here. But
Well, why not? I mean, I'm always looking. Like, I have a good videographer that I use for my graduation, James Travis. So, yeah.
I got a videographer here, Charles Bush. It's very good. I also have two nephews, really good. Jerome Akintunde, who also shoots. He's a head photographer also for Kevin Gates, believe it or not. He's excellent. And then Brendan Marshall, who's a good videographer that works with different people, and also the UTA. So we got a skill set around us that we bring together. So Charles is who I've been working with lately. He's very good, very timely, and very thorough.
Okay.
Yes.
So when you're filming, I didn't know that you did all of this, because there was a point where my photographer that did my portfolios transitioned back to New York, and I wasn't going to go to New York unless on special occasions to get him to do work for me. So I still model today, so I don't really need that because everybody in the industry knows who I am. But what do you have different types of cameras for different photos that you shoot? Or do you have, like when I was looking and I did what everyone else did, I don't know about cameras, so I went downtown and I asked, and they said, for what you're wanting to do, this is the type of camera you want to get. And it was a Nikon SLR something at the time. I eventually gifted that to my photographer because she's going to use it more so than I would. So are there different cameras for what you want to shoot, or do you just have you evolved into just having one type of camera?
Yeah, there are different types of cameras. And what you're going to find out is that photography, there's really three components in photography. And your camera has to be able to manipulate those three components to the best ability. That gives you more flexibility. And also representing it, since most people are shooting digital now, and then, of course, how it actually either processes the image or puts it on the card is important. The bigger thing is the lens. I do shoot two cameras, and I shoot two types of cameras for different effects depending on what I'm doing. I have a DSR that I shoot. I'm shooting Nikon. I'm sticking with the Nikon family, although I've shot a lot of different, and I have Minotas, I have Canons, I have, I don't have a Sony. I would love to shoot a Sony, but I have several different brands of cameras that I have at home, but my Nikons are who I shoot with professionally. Okay. I have a mirrorless. And
what is that?
A mirrorless is basically, there's not a mirror. You got that mirror that's flipping behind your lens.
Okay.
And a mirrorless camera doesn't have that mirror. behind it. So now you have the light going directly to the sensor as opposed to being reflected to the sensor.
Okay.
And it also allows the camera to have certain settings. Like I can shoot completely silent. I can sit here, hit that button on the mirrorless, put it on silent mode. You'll never hear a click. And when you're shooting things like weddings or you're shooting something close, especially if you're doing, you got a videographer there and you have to take that picture, you hear that little, then now they have to edit that out. But in the mirrorless, you don't have that sound. It's just completely, you can turn it off, and it's great. The other thing, mirrorless, is you got to shoot one. That's all I got to say. If a photographer's not going mirrorless, you got to go there. You got to go there. It's a game changer, major game changer.
Okay. So I lost touch with you for a while, and then I saw you again. Brigida was doing, I think it was First Friday events at the VFW.
Okay.
And you were there set up, taking pictures and printing pictures.
Yes.
And you've taken many a picture of me because I visited often when I was in town. Do you still do those things at certain events?
I do. Matter of fact, I have an event this week, and I'll be taking pictures and printing pictures. I started printing pictures, oh my God, actually within the swing dance community. People would like to pick up a picture before they leave. And believe it or not, when I first did it, it was film. And so what I would have to do is take the pictures, and I have a lab that'll work with me that would develop them that night and have them available the next day or the next couple of days. Having to keep up with the current photographers who are printing on location, I then had to get a photo printer. And
I remember that. I had a few pictures I bought from you.
Yes.
At that time.
And so now, but one thing I try to do, I try to get as close to studio quality as I can with those pictures. You're not gonna just get a picture and say, "Wow, this is a club picture. This is gonna be excellent quality picture."
It's not gonna be fuzzy.
No, it's not gonna be fuzzy. If it's fuzzy, we need to take another one. So yeah.
So what's the difference? So you shoot a lot of different things, and we're going to show some of your artwork. But have you had the perfect shot yet? Is that a thing for photographers? Because the reason I ask is because as a model, we have to move according to how we're directed to move.
Right.
Or when we get seasoned like me, we just freestyle and kind of know what they want. But there's been a few times in my career where the photographer said, "Carson, that's a perfect shot.
Right.
We don't need any more."
Yeah, the definition of a perfect shot to a photographer is that I had a goal in mind and I achieved my goal. So it's like, wow, this is perfect in being that, the contrast is right or the focus is right. Is that if you're able to shoot and achieve the goal that you meant. If a water droplet falls off a pedal and I want to catch that midair, I've got that. If there's a stream of water and I get that water flowing and I capture that, then those are perfect shots. And so it's meeting your goal is what we consider a perfect shot. That's what I would say for a photographer. We randomly take shots and like, wow, this is amazing. But
that's just the us part.
Yeah, we can take an amazing shot. But is that the perfect shot? It's like, well, I wasn't intending to do that. It's nice. As a matter of fact, it's great. But was it the perfect shot? Well, it wasn't my intention. It all falls back to that. Is that what I intended to get?
Okay.
Yeah.
When you do dance events, when you shoot dance events and people are moving, your pictures come out well.
Thank you.
Is there a steady hand that you have to have? Because when you were taking pictures at Second Friday, it was funny. The people that come to my event that's been coming for the last 9 years are accustomed to certain type of photographers, talking to them, telling them what type of shot they're going to have or what they're going to do or whatnot. And we got in front of the backdrop and you said, "Okay, we're good." And they're like, "Wait, what? What do you mean we're good?" "Oh, yeah, we already took the pictures."
Well, what's key is this photography. You got to remember the photographer is the one looking at the subject, right? So we know what we're needing to capture, and sometimes we have to speak to the subject before.
Right.
Well, we know what we're aiming for, and when we get that, we capture it. So I don't need to go back and forth. If you tell me, hey, I want my eyes open, then I'm gonna catch you with your eyes open, and it's just that simple. And that's from experience, knowing when how my camera is going to capture it. The other thing is the key is just the settings on the camera, because at your event, oh my God, the drastic change in lighting was just crazy. But being able to make those adjustments on the fly is being able to know your equipment. I can carry a camera somewhere, and then some photographers are going to shoot in automatic mode. But a lot of times you don't want that. You want to be able to get a tighter focus. You want to be able to get better at the lighting. And so you make those adjustments. And if you can do them on the fly, it's great. So know what those controls are on your camera. Make them quick. Snap, and you're done,
So at my venue, there's 4 different forms of lighting. There's
at least.
There's the lobby, which is what's that lighting called?
Condensant lighting.
Yeah, there's that. Then you go into the swing out room, and it's dark.
It's very dark.
I like to say, what's the word?
Dark. Lightless.
It's comfortable. But then you go to the Chicago stepping room, and I like to think of that as sexy lighting. It's a little illumination on the lamps, but it's cool. It's a calm lighting.
Yeah, so there's certain things that a photographer is going to do. When I walk into the room, I see the lighting, so I know I got to make some adjustments in my eyes. So and then I can't push it too high because I don't want the graininess in the pictures. So now I got to change my aperture and other settings. Those
you have to change your what?
Aperture.
What's that? You have to educate us because we know nothing about cameras.
Okay, it's kind of hard to have fully there. There's 3 settings on the camera that are very crucial because of the exposure triangle. Your aperture is one, is the opening of the lens.
Okay.
Or if you will, how wide the water hose is, how much light is going to come through at one time.
Okay.
The other thing is sensitivity. Your ISO is sensitivity, is how sensitive that sensor is to the light. So how much light needs to hit it to get a good image.
Got it.
What did I miss? And the speed, the shutter speed, how long is that lens needs to stay open. So those are the 3 things that are critical to an image.
Okay.
And so those are the 3 things that you're adjusting on the camera. There's other things you may adjust to, but those are the 3 things there. You might your light balance and all those things. In your venue, basically, I'm looking, and I'm seeing, okay, I got to make some changes. Plus, in a dark room where you got light behind you, a subject is going to appear dark because they got light behind them. So now I have to position myself to where I can get a good image. If I got whether I'm shooting a field flash, I prefer a field flash rather than a full flash to cover that. That's a lot. It needs a class.
It sounds sexy.
It's amazing. I mean, there's a lot involved in photography, but the goal is that perfect shot, which is achieving what you set out to achieve.
So when you're at a dancing event and you are capturing different couples or different individuals dancing, do you feel more? You probably feel comfortable in all of the things, but do you prefer to be moving when you take those action shots of people dancing, or prefer to be still for a moment?
Well,
or a little bit of both.
That has to do with the lighting, because the more light, then the more movement I can handle. Because if there's movement, I'm going to have, if there's less light, I got to move my ISO up. It means there's more graininess. Okay. So the less light, if I try to get someone in a certain position, like maybe a dip, they may be out of that dip before I get a good shot. Or if I get it, it may be grainy. If there's more light, it's easier for a photographer to work with and get a good picture.
Okay.
So photography means light. We got to have light. So really, that's the key.
Okay. All right. We're going to go and show some of Lawrence's work. Check it out.
I hope it's some good ones.
Now, this right here, I saw this picture. This is an amazing shot. She's provocative, It's very poised. It's somewhat angelic. You want to tell us about this shot?
Yeah, that shot was done for a stylist, and I believe this may have been Whitney. I can't remember because a few stylists I was doing a photo shoot for. It's at Styles and Salons in Richardson off of Spring Valley. This young lady hair was done. It was straight, it's beautiful, hanging down. Just the contour and you can see her wardrobe just really brings that out. Mm-hmm. And so did several shots with her, but I had her sitting on a stool here, and I just wanted some movement. So what I had her do is grab, her hands are still up, I had her throw her hair up. So she just threw her hair up, and so I captured that. A lot of that has to do now with the timing, the lighting, and everything else. So I knew what I wanted. That is what I consider a perfect shot. I got what I was looking for.
I agree. You know, looking at it, most people would think that there's a fan sitting underneath her, blowing her hair up.
No, she threw it up. And if we can get back, I'm not sure if we can get back to that
Sure
just
we
for a
can.
second. The other thing is that the purpose of this, remember I said it's for a stylist, right?
Mm-hmm.
Notice the model's face.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not capturing her face. Beautiful girl.
Right.
I can take a beautiful picture of a beautiful person and say, wow, this is for hair. But what we want to do is focus on the hair, and that is achieving that purpose shot. What is the focus? Are you able to get the contrast that you're looking for, action or emotion if you want to? And this tells all of that.
Okay. Let's go to the next one.
All right. This is a friend of mine. And I was setting up the studio, and she came by. This is her friend's daughter. I mean, they came by and just wanted to check the studio out. And, you know, I'm just perfect. I'm like, wow, got the camera and everything set up. So just sat them there and did, I think, some of the perfect pictures here. The lighting and then everything was right. It was really quick, just setting the camera the way it needed to be set. Their personality was great. And that's another thing. It's just communicating with. It's the interaction. A photo shoot is between the photographer and the subject.
Right.
And you see their interaction and my interaction with them really worked out. And the only thing I have to do is capture that going on. That was easy shoot, enjoyable.
Okay.
This was a birthday shoot. That young lady there is, I say young lady, that young lady is my senior. Quite a bit my senior. You
Okay.
couldn't tell from that photo. You couldn't tell from the outfit. Her daughter is also a stylist, and so she came in from St. Louis. It was her birthday, and she wanted to do a photo shoot. So we set up and did the photo shoot that day, and she's got some amazing photos that we put in that shoot.
Gotcha.
Jonas, this brother here, you know, he not only does he sell clothes, he's a stylist. He's also a barber. And so he came by and wanted to do a photo shoot. And so we just got him. You know, you can see he looks a little suave there and there. He got his shades on and everything. That brother's tight, right? And so that's what we presented. We want to present that to the audience. So when you look at him, you can see who he is and see who his personality is. And that's what we wanted to bring out. He wanted to bring that thing out. And you can imagine that he would be someone who would be stylish and dressed that way, right?
Right.
Just by looking at him. And so that's the story that we were able to tell with that photo.
Okay. Nice. Where is your studio located?
That studio right there, it's in Richardson, Texas. It's on the corner of Greenville and Spring Valley.
Okay, I know where
it's
that
actually, yeah. There's a salon there, Styles and Smile Salon. In the back, there's a studio there.
Oh.
So, yes.
Okay. All right. So when you are doing this, you do other things. What do you do for a living? Because this we're going to get back to the photography, but I also want people to know there's more to the man than the photo.
I am a senior software engineer, and so I write, design and write software, you know, and update software. And right now I'm in the financial industry. So I'm writing banking software for a large company that provides banking software to banks. And so that's what I do. I'm a software engineer.
And how long have you been a software engineer?
Oh, wow. I've been in several different industries, but I've been in the banking industry since 2000. But I've started as a software engineer in 1988.
Okay.
And so programming in C, Fortran, I did some Pascal, several different languages. So now with a lot of modern languages and frameworks that I'm using now, Angular, C Sharp, I'm doing a little Go, but yeah, since 1988.
Okay. What is your favorite thing to shoot? Is it an event? Is it an individual? Do you have a favorite? Does that exist for you?
That's a moving target for me. And I think it may be for a lot of photographers. I get in the mood I wanted to do models.
Okay.
I just wanted to see what I can do, so I worked with models. I worked in the hair industry for a long time with some friends. Hey, shout out to Girls Talk Salon and to a friend who we lost, Vince Shelton, who did the Texas International Hair Show. Okay. But I wanted to shoot in the hair industry, so I got some amazing photos from over the years I worked with that. I wanted to do landscapes. I had an opportunity when my wife went to Ethiopia, and we did some natural pictures, got out there in the water, did pictures with the hippopotamus and some of the just amazing photos there. And it changes, landscapes, products, individuals, family photos. It's just whatever I feel that I can do a good job creative. One thing about me, Adrian, too, and this is kind of funny. I wanted to shoot everything. And I got this one friend, and it's like, wow, this girl is just be the perfect model. I'm like, I want to do her photo shoot. And so we're going to do a photo shoot. And then she sent me back some pictures she'd done. And I looked at them, and I'm like, wow, I don't know who her photographer is, but that photographer hit everything I could possibly do. So I canceled the photo shoot. She said, why? I said, I can't improve on what he's done. And that's just one situation. But as a photographer, you want to do the best that you can for your client and the best of whatever artistic style you want. And I could have repeated, I think, what she had, but it was just great.
So as a football official, my eyes are keen to a lot of things that people don't see, people don't notice, or people don't pay attention to. I would imagine as a photographer, it's even more finite than probably my eyes because of the varying things that you have to take into consideration when you're shooting.
There is you watch everything around you. Believe it or not, when I'm shooting special events, I know where everyone is. I know if someone's walking behind me, in front of me, beside me. I know what your shoestrings look like, if they're tied or not, your tie, if it's straight or not. I'm watching all of that. Now, as a photographer, also, I know that there's randomness in photography. We're not looking for perfection. We're looking for perfection in the shot. But if my tie is, my jacket's a little bit off, then maybe that's what I want to capture. So I want to be sure with the subject of what I'm shooting. If you want perfection, well, you're a model. You know the clothes. What do they call a model? Overpriced clothes rag. That's
I do like my custom clothes.
And so basically, there's different ways you can wear a jacket or a cap or anything like that. You can capture that. And so sometimes a sports event, if a shoestring is untied, hey, it's great. Just capture it. So we see that. We're aware of it. And other times, I'm like, hey, your shoestring's untied. And I'll let them know. But the photographer eyes is always wondering, which means that I'm looking at the entire scenery. One of the biggest things is group shots. When you get a group shot, everybody's talking and everybody's pointing in different directions. But to be able to look at a group of 20 more people and know that everybody's looking at the camera before you press that shutter lens, it's great. But that's something that we pick up. It's a skill. It becomes a habit, but it's great.
So transitioning back to your dance.
All right.
How does dancing and your photography intersect? Meaning, you can dance your butt off, and you teach. Mm-hmm. So how do those two things come together for you? I'm sure it gives you an advantage that other photographers probably don't have, or gives you the visual outlook or perspective, if you will, of when you're dancing, who's dancing around you, and how they look when they're dancing.
Well, yeah, I guess in a sense it does bring something. I never really thought about that. But one thing is that sometimes I'm dancing and I've seen videographers or photographers come out, and no matter who I'm dancing with, I know what the photographer's going to get when when you see me. So, hey, we're going to get that move. I'm going to get them right there. I'm not just in front of the camera smiling. I know head to toe what that photographer's going to be. It's in the back of my head. And so it makes a difference. And also, if I'm doing a showcase or something with a lady, then I know how to present that to the judges. I know what's going to be seen. So there's an awareness that comes even with my dance, as what we're actually doing.
Now, one of the things I see a lot of people doing at my events when a photographer comes around, they stop dancing and pose.
Yeah.
Is that warranted? or should they just keep dancing and let you capture the shot you want to capture?
Me, I want the action shot. I started out shooting sports, and but I need lighting. Lighting is going to allow me to freeze motion, and then I can get that at any point in time. I get we do a lot of turns. We do a lot of spins.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, and so doing those turns, at some point in time, both people are looking at the camera. I want to be able to capture that and not capture, the lady halfway around and get the back of her head, and he's looking at the camera, and vice versa, And so to do that, I need lighting so I can capture that at the right moment. And no, people, don't stop dancing. You got a photographer there. We're watching. We're shooting for what we get. You got a good photographer, they're going to capture it. Just don't stop.
So in the dark room for this upcoming month, you're probably going to bring more lighting, huh?
Yes and maybe. Yes and maybe. There's a couple things about a dark room. It's going to require light. You got to do that. Number one, the camera needs light to focus if you're going to use autofocus. If you're going to focus yourself, the next thing is that be able to not have your ISO so high so you won't get grain is another thing. The third thing is that when you're using a flash, you got to understand that flash is just hitting here, so you got stuff in the background. So now the scene around that individual is not necessarily what you're looking for, but you're flashing. You got the front of that individual in the face. But what about the people outside? If you want them in the picture, you can no longer control that by depth of field because you don't have enough light.
Okay.
So although I can bring lighting, unless I bring lighting which I light an entire area, and I can do that with strobes and things like that, it's going to be difficult. The challenge with strobe lighting is that they're positional lightings. I'm going to put those lights in certain areas. And so unless my subject is dancing right there within that area, they move 7 feet over here. Okay, now I am not right. Yeah. So it's challenging. And that's what I mean by maybe. Maybe because it's seldom that I'm going to find or I can just capture only people who dance in that one area and then just do a great job. Okay. But I'm missing a lot of other subjects. All right. A lot to think about.
It is a lot to think about. That's why I have you on.
Okay.
Because you can give us the awareness that we lack. And because I'm going to let you know after this, I'm going to say, hey, I need to have a conversation with you on what type of camera I need to get.
Okay.
and I'm a Nikon snob.
Okay.
So I'm glad that that's one of your preferred cameras. How can people get in touch with you to book you or to attempt to book you?
Okay, there's a couple ways. Butler's Photography, butlerphoto.com. It's my website.
Okay.
I'm on Facebook. That's Butler's Photo on Facebook.
Butler's with an S?
Yes, with an S. And I need to be on other social medias. I'm gonna work on that. I need to get me a social media person. But my email address, is it okay to give that out?
Absolutely. However we can get a hold of you.
Is Lawrence@butlersphoto.com, LAWRENCE @Butlers, BUTLERSPHOTO.com. And that's my email address. And my phone number, I'll give that out as well, is 469-231-1810. You want to get one of the best photographers or one who tries to shoot the best job, give me a ring.
Well, I'm going to be talking to him about maybe updating a portfolio. Hopefully I can keep this one. My portfolios in the past have all disappeared for some reason.
Oh, wow.
And I have over 40 years of portfolios walking out the door somehow. So maybe time for do one of those soon. When it comes to my dance event or other dance events, do you see any varying differences in your approach? Like, say, for instance, when Brigida had her First Friday event and you were shooting there versus my dark space where you shoot.
Well, as a photographer, there's two things you want to look at. Am I shooting for the dancer, or am I shooting for the host?
Okay.
A lot of times when I'm shooting as a host, I want to get those broad shots to show that people are there and show that people are enjoying themselves.
Right.
And so now the focus is on who's your client, and you want to meet what the client needs, and then of course the environment determines how you accomplish that. But the goal is who's your client and what is the client looking for. If you when you first called me, I was asking a few pointed questions. What are you looking for? What or do you have some examples of what you had before? And I could have said, yeah, I'm a photographer. I can come in and cover you. And I think I can do a good job, but does that meet what you're looking for?
Right.
Because it doesn't matter if I do a good job if it doesn't meet what my client's looking for.
Right.
So that's it. It's going to be different at event, basically based upon the communication with the client and the environment.
Now, one of the things I loved what you talked about with me off camera is your community service events. Let's talk about those things that you're very, very excited about.
Wow, now you hit me to the sensitive spot. There are a lot of need.
There is.
In the world. I'm going to say not in communities. I mentioned the gala. As a matter of fact, I need to fill a table at the Bands of Hope. They got an event in November, and they make a contribution to youth. They have a youth summit that we just, we attended. I was a photographer there, brought a videographer out. And also for women who are in need, single moms and whatnot,
Okay.
and they make donations to those. And one way of funding that is a gala. They have bandsofhope.org. If you want to go there, if you sign up, let me know because I need people to fill a table.
Okay. How much are the tickets?
Tables. The tickets are $100. I think they're going to go up at the end of this month. You can purchase them online right now.
And is it an after 5 event, black tie event?
This is going to be a sneaker ball. So come in your tuxedo and wear your sneakers, and it's going to have if I'm correct, it's all the information's on the website, but I think they're going to have a casino night as well.
Okay.
So sneaker ball, casino night. This is one of the, I think, serves a very good purpose. Plus, it's one of the most enjoyable events. They have a huge dance floor at every event.
Okay.
They have a live band.
Okay, I was going to ask.
I mean, wow, it's just amazing.
Okay, all right. Well, I will make sure that we get that information out.
Yes.
So people can contact you to get these seats because I'm sure the food's going to be quite tasty.
Oh, yeah, that's amazing.
Tuxedos and tennis shoes is kind of like an oxymoron for me as a haberdasher because I don't own tennis shoes.
I've never done it, but I'm going to do it this time.
I'll have to find some tuxedo-appropriate tennis shoes if that's a thing.
I'm looking for some NBAs, so if anybody know a good place to get some, we'll see.
Okay. Do you have any other charities that you like or support?
I do several charities. And I've been doing it for a while, Adrian. I have people reaching out to me. Angel, like last year, I adopted a family for Christmas.
Okay.
And I reached out to an organization that has families that come to them, and what they did is select the most needy ones.
Okay.
And that's what I reached out for, and I do that. Also, a lot of you know that I'm a golfer. I golf, and so I'll choose my charity events with golf tournaments based upon the purpose, what charity is going to.
Okay.
And I just played in one for Golf 316 just this past week. And so I will play in those tournaments to be able to give back. So a lot of my giving back is also enjoying myself while I do it. But the funds and everything is to go toward those charities. I'm always one who's typically willing to help someone who has a charity. So I get calls here and there, but definitely a giving person. And if there's a need, I'll reach out to somebody or make a referral to someone to help.
That's exciting to know that we are in this community are doing charities. I am also doing a charity. We have started our Angel Trees for Dallas Casa Court-appointed special advocates. We've been working with them for over 12 years, so we're starting our Angel Tree sign-up now for that. And so we're really, really excited. And we do other initiatives, like we do their parade of playhouses at North Park Mall. We do their back-to-school backpacks and notebooks, and then we also do their hair care products. Awesome. So we're heavily, heavily involved in that. So I am so glad that you came out tonight, and I am so glad that we have partnered up for you to be the photographer at Second Fridays moving forward and other things that I have coming up. I want to talk to you about our class Thursday. Tomorrow night we're having our swing out class from 7 to 9. Everyone's welcome. You'll see the flyer that we're about to put up of my swing out class. It's in Carrollton. The address is 2155. The address is also the name of the studio. We have swing out from 7 to 9. Then from 9 to 9:45-ish, we have complimentary line dancing class. We don't have any open floor per se because it's all about the instruction, but we do have that every Thursday night, and looking forward to seeing you all there. We also have our Second Friday event coming up that's real near and dear and special to me. This event has a lot of meaning to me, excuse me, because this is going to be our cancer awareness. And so as you see the flyer is emblematic of all the various types of cancer. So you see the different colors of ribbons around the circumference of the flyer. Those are all different colors of cancer awareness. My mother passed away from lung cancer. My godfather passed away from pancreatic cancer. A great, great friend of mine that owned the studio, Robert Nelson, recently passed away from pancreatic cancer. So this is near and dear to me. If you're in town, come on out and hang out with us. This is also, and it's not on this flyer, but this is also Domestic Abuse Month in October for people that are victims of domestic abuse. Keep them in your prayers as well as those that are battling cancer. It is a journey that is not an easy one, but you have to fight for your life, and you have to have a support system that's going to support you through that. So those are the things we have coming up. And yours truly will be shooting at that event and all the subsequent events for Second Friday. So we're super, super excited. What else do you want people to know about you? We know how to get a hold of you. We know where to find you. Do you ever go on location? Like, do people hire you to go out of state to shoot family reunions and things of that nature?
Let's see. Do people hire? Yes, I'm a full service photographer. As I said, I got family. I got family now in Ethiopia. I've shot in Ethiopia. Okay. But as far as in the States, I've shot from coast to coast, East Coast, West Coast. I've shot as far south and as far north as you can in the United States. Just hire me as a photographer. The other thing is that no event is too large. Mm-hmm. Or too small for me. I have a team of photographers I can pull together. Most of it will drop a hat if they're not occupied, but to accomplish those. And the places I mentioned early on, those are photographers who actually reached out to me. So we as photographers will get together if we need to do a large event and get some extra talent. But Butler's Photography is my business name. And 469-231-1810 is where I can be reached.
Well, I'm so glad you came. Excuse me. And I am so glad that we are partnering together. We want to thank you for tuning in. We want to thank you for joining us on the couch. We look forward to seeing you on the next Wednesday on The Groove. Until then, stay blessed and take care.
Some stories are told with words, others with a different language. The groove. Feel the rhythm, embrace the moment. On Dallas On Air.